already, 3D.
Was he playing hopscotch? Hopscotch? Oh, he's getting worried for the game. I thought he was doing hopscotch for a second. I'm chilling my age on that one. But hey, our game is changing.
You saying kids now don't play hopscotch?
No, they don't play hopscotch no more. They don't play double dutch, none of that no more. They don't even jump rope no more. Kids on video games all day long now.
No Jokic tonight.
No Joker tonight?
No, he's out. Jeff Green,
this is a tease.
Jeff Green's going to start at center for the Nuggets.
Uncle Jeff, he's still getting it done.
Underrated pickup of the offseason.
Yes, good
Jeff
call.
Green replacing Paul Millsap for the Nuggets. Here's the game we got for you. Second of our doubleheader. We got Curry versus Lillard tonight. You got Jordan Poole, who's going to play a huge role this year for Golden State. With Wiggins, Draymond, and Looney. If he's healthy, could play a big role as well. Lillard, McCollum, Norman Powell, good to see they got him back in this offseason as well.
Covington, hope you get in the weight room. He's going to think about it. We talk about Portland. We know what the backcourt is. Nurkic, Covington, and Powell. What are you guys going to do consistently all year long if we wanted to think Portland can finally go deeper than we think?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not a given just to make the playoffs.
No.
The Warriors found out last year. Remember, they made the play-in and didn't get into the postseason.
The West is too deep. In each top 5 team, we know who their stars are. The question's always been the bench, the role players when the playoffs come or late in the season. Do you have enough to be in the top 4 to have home court advantage in the West? Because if you don't, we just saw what happens. You normally go home early.
And this Portland team seems to get snake bit by injuries every year. Nurkic, Zach Collins, who's now out in San Antonio. But this should be a fun one to watch. Preseason debut for Dame and Steph, and you'll watch it right here live on NBA TV. 3D, we'll see you at the half. Enjoy the game, and let's welcome back to the broadcast booth the great voice of Kevin Calabro sitting alongside Lamar Hurd as you're watching live on NBA TV.
In Oklahoma City, James Harden, Wall, Beal, and then Roy Rogers alongside as well, who's the defensive coach of this team, the 48-year-old from Linden, Alabama, who's a veteran in this league, in Brooklyn, Boston, Detroit, Washington, Houston, and Chicago. The tip won by the Blazers, and the emphasis this year is most obviously the defense.
It is the defense, but also trying to maintain that prolific offense. The Blazers last season had the second best net rating offensively in league history. So they're going to look to do that again, but differently. They want better ball movement early in possessions. They want the hit-ahead pass, more people involved in different ways. But this is the end of the floor where it's obvious. That's where the improvement has to be made.
Little pick and slip on the wing, and Kevon Looney, you can do that. Nice short touch. The big man out of UCLA. Curry presses up on Damian Lillard. Across it comes here to Nurkic, high post, 15 to shoot. Lillard getting one on the wing, fading away and knocking it down over Looney.
Good action. Anytime Dame has that much space, you take that shot, but then you also had Nurk rolling with no big body to box him out. So that's one of those types of sets. The Blazers getting some side-to-side action. You get 2 advantages. One, Dame with the ball, Nurk rolling as a rebounder.
Lillard gets out on Curry, forces him to the middle, and now the Warriors work with 6 on the shot clock and nearly give it away. Out to Poole, he's got to force up a deep 3 off the mark, and a real nice defensive stand there for the Blazers. A lot of clubs in the NBA want to get their offense going in the first 6 seconds or so, and the more you can work that clock down, the better your defense is going to be. You see Powell going right to work. That's the other thing the Blazers have emphasized in the camp this week is that transition. Getting back on defense and then offensively getting into their sets with pace. Here's the inbounds to Powell. Fall-away jumper, got it. Give Lillard the assist, and Wiggins now comes the other way. Picked up by Robert Covington Jr. Curry doubled in the corner, fades and fires. That one glances off the iron. No reset. Out it comes here to Green, in low. And off balance is Wiggins, stumbling over there, and a foul.
Nurk's going to go to the handoff, set a screen, and then roll to the basket. Dame gets a good look, and now he makes the pass to Norm, going to the left. But we saw Norm before that coming off hard to the right hand. Oh, that's something that we got used to last year when he joined the team. And he can go both ways, but going to that right, it's almost unstoppable at times.
He's so powerful.
Yeah.
Well, what's it going to take for the Trailblazers during a win today? Let's take a look at the local Ford store keys to the game.
First preseason game, Coach Billups has been talking about the attention to detail in every way. That's something the team's going to be keen in on. and then just get familiar with one another. Like Coach said before the game, he's never coached before. He's never been the head coach for a game at any level. So his players are continuing to get used to him, his own coaching staff. But so far, from what we've seen in training camp, it's looked pretty good.
Jordan Poole from long range, third-year pro out of Michigan. Shot 35% from 3 a year ago. CG on the exchange from Nurk, goes right to the body. Good, strong finish right at the rim over Looney.
That's it. That's what you want to see from the big man.
Poole the other way. The green light is on for Poole, who knocks down another one in transition.
Well, half the splash is on the bench right now for Golden State. So before he comes back, Poole trying to establish himself. Great pass from Nurk, but didn't get the finish.
Bullet pass out ahead to Green, deflected. He'll recover. Looney, shot off by Nurkic, 16 to shoot. Out on top, set shot away for Wiggins. And racing into the corner to retrieve is Looney. Back to Green for the reset. So the Warriors up to their old tricks, firing those threes early on the clock.
And that's one of the things that they are really hoping for, that Draymond Green can become again the shooter he was at one time. He was a really good shooter for them in the past. Good ball movement from the Blazers.
And good inside out. CJ got a good look. Poole the other way. With no one with him, he'll fire another three, and why not after the results of the first two. Rebound to Damian Lillard. CJ McCollum going to work. Hooks it to Nurk. He'll be shooting a few threes this year. I don't know how many.
Well, he was 40% last year with 12 makes.
Nurk into the lane, defending Wiggins. A strip and a foul called in deep on Rocco.
This is where you want to see Nurk establish himself first, down in that paint. He's bigger than most people he plays against. On the roll, CJ makes the right pass. Nurk using that body to knock the guy back first. He's typically at his best when he catches, gathers, takes his time, assesses what's going on, reads his advantage, and then punishes that defender.
And in listening to Billups, it seems like that ball, if it doesn't happen the first time and he reposts, he's more likely to get it the second time, which is encouraging for a big guy, right?
And on a repost, on a kick out than a repost, you can get a little deeper. You can get a foot closer to the rim, get better positioning.
Warriors up 6. Early going. Rocco, good entry in deep. Nurk does his work early, turns but got the ball too low where Looney could get a piece, and it's ripped away. And now it's Steph Curry, wheels out of backcourt with it. Pitches a no look up ahead to Green. CJ takes a glance down the floor immediately to Lillard. Curry reads it, saves it. Grabbed by Wiggins, deflected away by CJ, but Wiggins regains control. Wiggins on the back cut from Curry. Draws two defenders, leaving Poole open. Blazers want to pick up the pace, get into their offense early as they do there with CJ. He gets another good look, but defending was Wiggins. Green filling the wing, lays it up and in. He got away from Norman Powell. Timeout on the deck as the Warriors have come out to an 8-point lead. 7.5 left here in the first quarter from Moda. Ball movement, the hit ahead, the excellent passing. Blazers defense will be tested.
6 to go in the first. Well, I'm pretty sure Larry Nance Jr. has not stopped smiling since he got to Portland. He told me he has always admired this organization, the team, and of course, the fans. Earlier, I asked him how excited he was to play in front of the Rip City faithful.
Yeah, no, I can't wait. I can't wait. I spoke about, when I got here, I spoke about, these guys breathing down your neck when you're the opposing team. So, I'm excited to hear it, in support of me tonight. So hopefully I can make a few shots and get these guys, behind me even more.
Larry in his 7th year. Initially started off playing for the Lakers and then on to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Born in Akron, Ohio. Of course, Larry Nance, a great player, an icon in Cleveland for so many years. And he's keeping up the proud tradition of the family for sure. Lillard the slash, bounces out to Rocco. Juggled it as he went into the air. The three is short. Curry the rebound. And running out is Wiggins to grab it over the shoulder. Dame's got to defend on the post. Wiggins, pretty nice looking fade. And rattles it in.
Golden State came to play. You can feel a certain intensity level from them. The Blazers haven't played them in the preseason since 2016. And anytime you get the explosive backcourts together, Draymond Green on the court, we can get electric.
No timetable on the recovery with Klay Thompson. There's CJ exploding in there and just set the table for Nurk.
Direct line drive.
He has been the beast here in the early going. He's gone to the rim with authority. Some passion.
Yeah, that's what they want. That's what they want from him. Even the time he got it stripped away, the footwork was good. He just walked the ball down low. And that time CJ sets him up nicely. All you got to do is quick dip and explode.
On the inbounds is Poole. The scoop defended by Nurk inside. And the Blazers will relinquish possession. 14 to shoot, 6.5 to go here in this first quarter of play. Warriors, of course, won 15 games back in 1920, injury-wracked year. Green inside to Wiggins, and again, the Blazers meet him at the rim.
Nice recovery.
Norman, the pull-up three. Curry dancing across midcourt with the dribble. And reaching in was Damian Lillard.
There goes some of that transition defense for the Blazers being put to the test. We saw during training camp a lot of drills where the defense was at a disadvantage. And as your teammate is running back into the play, what you want to do as a defender is force a pass. The more passes you force, the greater opportunity you give that trailing teammate or teammates to catch back up into the play. Steph Curry able to just get by everybody and get to the rim.
That's Little stepping in. Now in his third year. Little playing last year 48 games, 13 minutes a night. His body is chiseled. His mind is right. He is rid of COVID that really just rattled his world. And you can imagine back in December, they were in camp. He got off to a tough start because of the illness. And he said it always seemed like he was trying to make up ground. Now here he is with a new coach who's going to invest and empower both he and Simons, the younger players. Give them an opportunity to really pop and come on the scene and make an impact. Nurk, his second three of the night. That one looks good, and it is a beauty.
He's got it. He can pop out, stretch the defense, knock it down.
Avery Bradley in the lineup, sneaks into the corner. The three is off. Rocco will square it the other way. Here's Nasir Little, drive and kick. Rocco got his feet set, and he drills the three.
Nice shot from Rocco. That's one of those shots that make or miss. Coach Billups will be happy with that possession because there was quick swing, quick attack, draw the help, kick out to a credible shooter. You live with the results, but that's the type of movement that Coach Billups wants. Ooh.
Dame puts a crossover on Curry, but that one rattles off. Into the hands of Bielitsa.
Go get it.
Rocco just took it away from Bradley in midair.
Off the ball, he's a magician.
Dame behind the back on the Nurkic screen. Nurkic rolling pass too far out in front. Wiggins will recover. Quickly ahead to Curry. Pumps it behind the back pass intended for Bradley out of bounds.
Norm goes right back to Nurk. Has the space. Cashes in on the opportunity. And Nasir with a quick drive on the catch. Gets the open shot for Rocco.
Little comes off the staggered screen, got in deep, and he saw Green coming at him and shuffled his feet. Turnover, and the Warriors will take it back.
It's too bad. He was about to get hit by Steph Curry. Would have been a foul against Curry.
So the Blazers working Powell and Lillard together at the guards with Rocco and Little up front with Nurkic as the Blazers will try to throw a number of combinations on the floor. Put Little on the ball right now. Curry up top met by Nurk. He'll recover into the paint. Bradley's shot is off. Nurk lost the handle, but Rocco picks it up, and that pass had no chance. Bradley the other way. Iguodala in the lineup. Yes, still in the lead at the age of 37.
You sounded surprised.
Here's Bradley outside, triggering short. Andre Iguodala, 18 years in the NBA. Former champion, part of the depth lineup. Here's Lillard outside for three. Rebound recovered by Iguodala, who's never been out of shape. Out ahead it comes to Bradley. 8 minutes gone by, and the Warriors on top by 4. Curry defended by a little off his
Not this year.
Nasir White.
Not this year. Those are the calls right there. When the offensive player tries to launch into a defender in unnatural motion, it can either be an offensive foul if there's enough contact, or if it's marginal, as the refs deemed in that last shot by Steph Curry, then it's a no call.
I'm not sure how to feel about that, but we'll sort that out. Bielitsa finds a loose ball. Curry into the lane. It is a preseason game, but look at the contact as Curry goes into the body of Nasir Little. Back comes Dame. That's that early look and quick transition. He's fouled from behind by Bielitsa.
So here's a play. Steph Curry pops back, gets Nasir into the air. Nasir basically lands, though, before he makes contact with Steph Curry. So that's what the officials are talking about trying to change. Now, why aren't you sure about it? What's your problem?
The one issue I have is when that offensive player beats the defender, and he is not allowed to get out then, and now he has beaten the defender, and he's not allowed to get out in front of the defender who's trying to recover and suddenly pull up on the brakes. That's considered an offensive
you can do
foul.
that.
You can.
You can do that.
Okay.
It's do you bulldoze through that defender's body?
Well, no, that obviously is going to be an offensive.
Yeah,
I'm
so
talking about
if you
when
get in
beat the
front,
guy
beat
and
him,
he's behind
stop,
him.
and you get hit, that's still a defensive foul.
Well, I got to go back to the drawing. Here's Lillard at the line.
So then overall, you do like the new rule, though, to take away when somebody's not really beat like that.
I've seen it too many times with the offensive player kind of lean in and flop and that kind of thing. That's what I'm against. 3:15 left first quarter, timeout on the floor. And the Warriors on top, 21-16.
Go get it. He'll come out of nowhere to make big plays like that.
The Blazers, 21-16, 3:15 left first quarter from Moda Center. Fans happy to be back, seeing basketball live here on the hardwood, whether it's cheering on Rip City for the win or helping you with your banking. First Tech Federal Credit Union is all about the assist. First Tech, proud to be the official credit union of the Portland Trail Blazers. Anthony Simons comes out onto the floor with Cody Zeller and Nasir Little. Larry Nance Jr. in for the first time tonight as well for the Blazers, with C.J. McCollum to complete the 5. Nance dribble handoff and a good move, but couldn't finish. Nasir Little. Back comes Otto Porter Jr. along with Avery Bradley. Iguodala. Bielitsa, who can also handle it a little bit out there for a big guy, but he can shoot the lights out of the 3. As we saw many times when the Blazers played the Sacramento Kings. Jordan Poole will trigger the 3 as well. Porter outside. It's his turn. He'll knock it down. Porter trying to come back with an injury, a sprain, and then a fracture of the left foot. He's out for 51 games in the 1920 season. Here's Simons for a 3. And we know he can do that prolifically, right?
42.5% last season. That was 14th best percentage-wise in the league. So he's got that combination of a great three-point shooter and then the athleticism good enough to win the slam dunk contest last year. First Trailblazer to do that in history.
A little way up top to grab the rebound. I guess the question about Simons is, does he have the handle to get those backup point guard minutes? Here he comes off the screen to pull up. That cast hard off the iron. That gives Otto Porter Jr. a chance to glance down the floor.
That's going to be the next step for Anthony, showing that consistently throughout an entire season, he can handle those point guard duties.
Iguodala gives up what I thought was going to be a lay-in outside of Bradley to the 3 that's off. Bradley, always a steady defender, picks the pocket of Nasir Little. Lesson learned. Be wary of Bradley.
You got to watch out for him. Remember, it was just a few years ago where Dame and CJ would tell you, when you ask him who's the best perimeter defender in the league, it'd be him, Avery Bradley.
Zeller, good screen setter, trying to spring Simons.
Oh, hold on.
CJ says Bradley miscalculated and knocks down the 3.
I guess things have changed.
Poole, who hit that three early in this first quarter play, will dribble drive in deep. Bradley trying to atone, misses the three, and Little comes down with another defensive grip. Zeller, solid screen on Poole. Simons leans in for three. Long board, Iguodala. Bielitsa leaks. Nobody with him. He'll lay it up and blew it.
The extra effort from Anthony threw him off, and he had Nasir having his back.
Good take by Naz. It's good aggression, but Poole makes a good defensive play. Simons crowds Porter, comes up with the pick. We're working now with 17 seconds left. One last shot for the Blazers, who trail here by one.
No shot foul on the floor. Number 3, Jordan Poole. That's his first personal and the first.
DJ runs to the ball, show, and then go. You got to chase so hard just to catch up with him. He changed directions.
On the inbound, CJ strokes a three. Shot 40% from three last year. Poole the other way will trigger a deep one, and got it. His third three-pointer of the first quarter for Jordan Poole. Don't take a look, but it sure looked like it left his fingertips in time. And the Warriors, as a result, will lead here by one at the end of one. From Moda. Great to be back in the gym, isn't it? And the first quarter was good. One of three that he hit in the first period of play. It's time now for the Pacific Office Automation statistics. The Warriors open up 5 of 20 from three. The Blazers were 5 of 12. CJ hit a couple. Robert Covington added a three, and so did Yusuf Nurkic and Anthony Simons. Struck from long range as well. Damian Lee in the lineup now with Jordan Poole. Bielitsa in deep, covered by Little. Poole will trigger another three. Poole was third last year, all-time franchise among rookies for threes attempted. Or actually, that goes back 2 years ago. He's a third-year pro. Behind, as you probably know by now, Curry and Thompson with their 200 attempts. So he's got the green light inside. As CJ sneaks to the inline and laid it in. And a beautiful look on a high low.
Yeah, Anthony with the head up. CJ setting it up. Looks like he's going to come off the screen. Defender jumps to the high side. He goes back door and has the entire lane open.
Bielitsa covered by Nance. Off to Poole, checked by Little. And a three.
That's why they were excited to get him. He fits how they play already.
A career 387% from three. Simons checked by Lee. They put some length on him. CJ in deep, master of the midway. Knocks down a beauty.
Yeah, he got the switch. Had Bielitsa on him. And he knew that all he needed was a few seconds to work himself into the shot he wanted.
CJ ended up shooting 40% from three a year ago. Got off to that great start in the first dozen ball games until broken foot. Clint Capella stepped on the left foot and a hairline fracture.
It really was too bad because it looked like CJ was on the way to his first All-Star season. Making 5 threes a game, playing like that as well, driving, putting the shoulder in people.
Bully ball. He has been in the weight room, no question.
Yeah, he has.
And I know we say that every year about most of these players. He's added 10 pounds of muscle, but I mean, it is noticeable on CJ's. Bielitsa knocks down another jumper.
It's 12 for CJ.
Pounds.
Yeah.
Okay. That made the difference. Of course, as many minutes as he plays, he just gets shredded during the year.
Yeah.
CJ the three, that one off the mark, and back come the Warriors.
Typically runs more miles per season than anybody else in the league.
Blazers trying to make it their campaign to reduce the minutes that Lillard and CJ spend out on the floor. And one solution will be this guy, Simons. If he pops this year, inside, nice pass, and you see the footwork of Cody Zeller to lay it in.
That's some of what I was talking about in the open to tonight's game, where Cody just does the right thing a lot. Very solid, fundamentally sound, gets a position after running the floor, shows the basketball, gathers, goes up with strength, and can finish.
9th-year pro, all spent in Charlotte. It was actually a Bobcat his rookie year. And then became a Bug. He's been in 2 playoff series, but early in his career, the last time he was there in 16. So the prospects of being in postseason with the Blazers, who have made it 8 consecutive years, is tantalizing to Zeller. Guys running at Otto Porter Jr. in the corner. He gives way to Iguodala. Open 3 is off. Long board. Dame's pass deflects away.
Unfortunate turnover, Kev, because I thought that last defensive possession gave us a really good look into the main difference of how the Blazers are playing the ball screen. They want to meet the ball handler at the level of the screen, keep the ball out of the paint, and that forces you to rotate on that backside. It takes communication, basketball IQ, and effort. You got to make those extra effort type plays. And they did it to get that stop before the turnover.
That's a nice pass inside to Nance, who makes the extra pass to Zeller. And he had a pretty good look as he pivoted to the rim, but just lost a handle, jabbed out of bounds. It'll be Warrior ball. Already we've seen Nance try to make that second pass to get you a better shot. He's just going to be invaluable, I think, when Blazer guards are doubled or trapped.
Yes.
They blitz him.
Yes. He's already passed up on a couple shots when he first came into the game. So those will be shots he'll decide to pull up on later on.
Score tied at 34, 8.5 left in the second. Back to Rip City in a moment. Fest here at Moda, great turnout, and Brooke Olzendam was there.
I was, Kev, and it was a huge success. Chauncey took the fans through one of their defensive drills. The scrimmage was close. Ant won MVP, but the most entertaining part, as always, was the rookie dance-off led by Dame. Greg Brown and Trendon Watford were out there, of course, but because there was no fan fest last season, Dame demanded that CJ Ellaby and Nasir Little join in as well. Now, guys, there was singing after this, but I won't put y'all through that. It was impromptu, so they didn't have time to warm up those vocal cords. It was kind of painful, but hilarious.
Brooke, thanks for being on the scene.
It's always such a fun event. And each of the coaches made mention of how impressed they were with the turnout. Coach Billups saying, all the teams I've been associated with, I don't know that I've seen that type of attendance for a preseason, before a preseason game is even played. Gathering.
Players always have a great attitude about it, too. They put on a real good show.
Yeah.
Zeller sets one of those Zeller screens and a foul. There is Mr. Big Shot, dubbed Mr. Big Shot by Ricky Mahorn, one of the original Bad Boys, who was doing the TV broadcast in Detroit. And that was shortly after Billups joined the Pistons. His first year with the Pistons, and the coach was Rick Carlisle, who was playing Chucky Atkins late in ball games in the fourth quarter, although Chauncey was the starter. And he went to Carlisle and said, hey man, I'm the starter. I should be playing in the fourth quarter. Carlisle said, well, yeah, you're right. And so they did. And so in the spring of that year, in a span of 2 weeks, he hit game-winning shots. One was against the Warriors. He hit a 3 over Chris Mills. Kind of like that from the wing where Damian Lillard strikes. And the rest, of course, is history. They go on to the championship the next year, where Larry Brown became the coach. Chauncey was the MVP of the finals that year. And I know you repeated the quote that Chauncey gave the writers in the pregame. And, hey, I've never coached a game before at any level. But look, point guard, 17 years. He's coached a lot of games.
Yeah. Oh, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree. He has thought like a coach for a very long time.
He's a humble guy.
Very much so. He has a unique ability to say, I've been there and done that, without saying, I've been there and done that. When he talks to the players, the way he delivers certain messages, it's just understood. Like there was this one drill, as Nasir gets the three-point shot, where they're talking about how to guard when you're off the ball. And Coach Billups jumps into the drill and starts to walk it through it. He's talking through it like he's going through it in real time, like he's on the floor. As you see, a chance for an and one here for the Warriors. And it's those kind of moments where the players almost feel like it's another one of them out there.
Yeah.
He just happens to be the leader. Look at Poole with the crossover, draws the body, so he's already established himself from behind the three-point line. Now getting to the basket.
Yeah, he's talked about accountability, responsibility, Brooke, and just being enthusiastic.
Absolutely, guys. And, he recently told me what it felt like to become the head coach for the Blazers. He said, it's really surreal. It really is. This is a dream job for me. I always said if I had the opportunity to be a head coach at a storied franchise, basketball rich, great fans, that would be a dream for me. He also has said numerous times to me how difficult it was to play and coach against the Blazers here in Portland. So he's very happy to be on the other side of it. But yes, a dream job for Chauncey.
Well, and Brooke gets an assist tonight because Chauncey, I just happened to be right behind Chauncey as we came into the building. He didn't know where the coach's office was, so Brooke took him through our media command center, which is kind of a back way through a labyrinth of tunnels to get back to the coach's room. And then from there, Chauncey didn't know where to go, so I led him the rest of the way. And we got into the office, and there he was sitting at that desk beneath that framed picture of Jack Ramsey, the great late Dr. Jack. And I said, man, that's Jack Ramsey. Goes, that's a legacy. He says, yeah. He smiled. He said, it is kind of cool. Yeah. Absolutely. I'm glad we were there to see that.
Kevin, it was pretty priceless. Like you mentioned, I just turned around and he's standing right behind my desk. And I'm like, oh, hi, big game. He said, my fob didn't work. Where do I go? And so we take him through Blazers broadcasting. And everyone's like, hi, coach. I'm like, say hello to your new head coach. And then you and I go through that second door, and then he tries to go left. I go, no, you're going back where you came from. So then we got him to where he was supposed to be. But, when you think about it, he hasn't been in this building very much, yes, for FanFest, but, now he knows how to get there, thanks to you and me, Kev. And as he was walking into the locker room, remember what he said? He said, well, there's a sideline story for you. Yeah. Head coach lost.
And he was right. We're all over that. Well, these guys are obviously creatures of routine, so that may be something he does every night for game. I don't know. Here's Toscano Anderson into the lane, jabbed away by Powell. And a good hustle play by Rocco to give up the body and get the ball back.
I don't know if he wanted to take that hit, though. he just happened to be there in the spot.
Preseason.
Now, Cody Zeller will take that.
Yeah.
He'll do it in a pickup game.
Nurkic and Powell, along with Ben McLemore now in the corner where he's just deadly in the offensive end. Dame up top. Rocco takes another hard spill into the lane. Lillard. Jump pass finds Norman outside for three. Powell with a three.
When Norman joined the Blazers last season, he was shooting 44% from the three-point line. Sizzling.
Green off to Curry. Touch and shoot. Dame works on the Powell screen. Jump pass across the floor. Rocco for three. Nurk keeps that ball up top and got hammered as a result. Good rebound in deep as Green and Wiggins were in there digging away at it.
Warriors foul 23, Green, his third team foul.
Dame last year had the most assists for a three-point shot, more than anybody in the league. As the Blazers set a franchise record for their threes. They're making 15.7 a game. The second most in the league. They shot the second most, right at about 41. But Damian Lillard was the main guy, getting downhill, finding those shooters who were spotted up.
With CJ out there.
Oh, yeah. The way CJ started.
Yeah.
He don't look to do that again this year.
Well, you were mentioning that 11 threes attempted in the first 13 games, shooting 44%. Toscano jabbed away by Dame, and then Rocco after him. Good scrambling defensively by the Blazers to help recover, scramble, get the body up. Nurk comes the other way. Dame draws two defenders. Nurk rolling and slapping it away was Toscano. And Green there as well.
Good patience from Nurk on the catch. You saw Draymond Green sprints up into the play, trying to sit underneath Nurk, force him to handle the rock. He took his time, got it to his guard, and was rewarded with the ball back.
C.J. McCollum on the bench leading the way with a dozen for the Blazers. Powell over to Lillard. Facilitating tonight to Powell for three. Nurk keeps it alive craftily, steering it away from Green, but he gets it back slyly. Swinging ahead here to Toscano. Lee for three. I mentioned Klay Thompson coming off the right Achilles tear and ACL before that. He has not played basketball for 800 days, but happy to report, because we all like Klay. I mean, he's a tough competitor. You hate seeing him coming into your building, just as they hate seeing this guy come into the building, let alone Damian Lillard. But Klay is on no sort of timetable. Hasn't been cleared yet to jump in practice, but they really love the way he has been coming along. And then James Weissman out as well, recovering from a right knee meniscus tear. He's not ready yet. No timeline on him. Here's Powell for three. Got it. Norman Powell's fouled in the act. Brent Barnaky with the call. Green doesn't like it, but it's a good call. And to the line, the Blazers send Norman Powell.
Stretch that dribble out to the left. Rolls up, high release. Chance for 4.
Now, from my perspective, you got him, but I'm looking at this thinking, okay, he did get the body.
Now you second guessing?
Kind of turned him around a little bit in midair.
What's done is done.
That's right. Norman Powell got that new contract over the summer, 5 years. Sounds good, said Rosendam during the pregame show and the interview. Absolutely. Inside Wiggins. Wiggins can be murder in deep. He's so long at 6'7".
Can shoot the 3 as well, but we'll try to get anywhere near that paint and then just jump over the defender. That time, as Norman was playing the high side, anticipating a screen, some type of pin down, Wiggins just slithered closer to the basket.
McLemore, two-man play with Nurk, leans back on a 3 and got it. Ben McLemore.
That's what he does. Shoots the 3 in bulk. The season ago, 77% of his total field goal attempts came from behind the three-point line.
Wiggins takes it strong over the pack. Lillard comes the other way. Lillard with the Olympic gold inside on the roll to Nurkic. And they make contact with him inside, but the ball was spinning, unable to corral it, and the Warriors will take it back. McLemore, he has been everywhere, man. Now in his 9th year, he's always been able to do this. Find the corner and find the range.
Boston finished up. Plus, basketball's back in Toronto. We'll do all that at the half with Dennis Scott. I'm Jared Greenberg, now back out to the voice of Kevin Calabro and Lamar Hurd live on NBA TV.
For a Blazer team that has turned it over 12 times here so far in the first half. Here's a look at Ben McLemore, veteran of 9 years in the league. Sacramento, Memphis, Houston, the Lakers, his last stop. And a guy that shoots the 3. 35% from 3 a year ago in 53 games. Played 17 minutes a night for the Los Angeles Lakers. Wiggins along with Curry, and now Bradley in the lineup with Green to screen. Bjelica in the corner. Curry bottled up over there by Dame. Wheels it out, 8 to shoot. And Wiggins goes to work. Finds Bjelica. The extra pass, Bradley flutters one up and in.
Rocco was sitting in the help position. And his man made a cut. Warriors able to find him, and that led to the assist.
Rocco passes up the 3, gives to Dame. He'll curl off that pick, and he drills one. Lillard averaged 10.5 attempts a year ago, 39% from 3. Across into the corner, Bradley. Wiggins, good ball movement by the Warriors in that possession as Wiggins drills one from deep. Wiggins shot 38% from 3 last year on his way to averaging nearly 19 a game. Norman. Bodies up to spring Lillard. He hits one of those patented Lillard 3s with Green, an excellent defender all over him.
And he had Nurk rolling, but figured I'll go ahead and shoot it. If for some reason this comes off, you can grab it that way. How about the seasons? Over the last 2 seasons, you saw Steph Curry put together last year for Golden State, averaging 32, and then Dame doing this kind of stuff. Remember 2 seasons ago? The dude averaged 49 points over 6 games. Was shooting the ball from nearly half court. Allen Iverson spoke about this recently. He gave Steph Curry his due respect because nobody has shot the 3 percentage-wise the way Steph has. But nobody has shot it with as much distance and the percentage that Damian Lillard has. It's special anytime these two are on the floor.
Bielitsa show and go, and he drew Nurk into him for the foul.
27 Lisa Nurkic, that's his second. First.
Gives it up, gets it back. Bielitsa right there, but the hands weren't up early enough. That time Draymond Green did about as much as he could do. But the elite shooters can just make these kind of shots.
On the inbounds, Curry triggers, and he hits a three.
Well, when Steph Curry last season hung 62 points on the Blazers, it was after the Blazers beat them in San Francisco. And he said he heard a lot of the chatter about how he wasn't able to carry the team. He came back, so as Dame is making these shots, you know he wants to match.
39 and 33 a year ago with the Warriors. 13 seconds left in the quarter. Differential here of about 4. Green makes the catch. Bielitsa rolling around outside, wanted it, deflected away and right into the hands of Nurkic. Blazers have an opportunity. Covington runs the floor and will lay it up, and that's off. And then look out, don't hurt yourself. Rocco's okay, so are we. First half in the books here in the preseason with the Warriors and the Blazers playing a typical Warriors.
An entertaining first half of play. Second game of our Monday night doubleheader. Welcome in 3D Dennis Scott. I'm Jared Greenberg. 60-60.
Huh?
The first half score.
Preseason? I thought you were playing defense in the preseason.
No. It's Chauncey Billups won, so I don't know who he's getting it.
Okay. All right. First game.
We saw Dame Lillard go to work. He has 19. CJ McCollum has 12. We'll talk about what we liked in that first half and what else happened around this 9-game preseason schedule. BATV, second game of our Monday night doubleheader. It is Chauncey Billups' head coaching debut. Game tied at 60. 3D and I will be back when this game is over to recap the entire 9-game night in the NBA. Back out to the great pipes of Kevin Calabro and Lamar Hurd.
Level of the screen, as you see Nurk up high right there to try to eliminate the dribble penetration into the paint.
And it gets a deflection.
Yep, and that's what that does. When you step up like that, you involve that big. You have to be ready to be in help positions and sometimes rotate, cross out of things on the weak side.
Simon starts his third quarter. Inside is Nurk and works his way in deep on Moody, who has no chance against the Bosnian beast when he gets that low.
Now, it'll be interesting to see as the season goes on, times when the Blazers might drop that big back if they decide to do that, because some of it's personnel driven. You know, depending on who you're playing against, they won't beat you if you drop the big back. And that's where you rely on Coach Billups and his staff, their IQs, their feel of the game, of when to make that adjustment. But generally, they want to be up at that screen.
Simon's 5 assists, no turnovers in the first half. Two-man play to Nurk on a inside-out pick and pop, and Nurk drills another 3, his second of the night. You have been advocating that for a long time. I've been very reticent to go there with you, but I think I could be one over.
How does 40% sound to you? I'm just asking that.
I like that from 3. Very nice.
So I've always said, I don't want him to leave the paint. I don't want him to abandon post play altogether. But when it makes sense, if he can pick and pop like that, because that's tough to guard against. And a guy as big as him, if you don't know if he's going to roll and finish or pop and finish, that's a lot to deal with, especially when you got Norm storming down the middle.
Former Bruin taking it strong. Blazers on top by 4. Just underway here with Nurkic out there, Powell, Covington, Ben McLemore, and Anthony Simons. Toscano Anderson put a little too much on that one. He needed to club down on that one. 16 to shoot. Norman turns, faces, fires.
Playing against a team like Golden State is exactly what the Blazers need as a test defensively, because of how well they move and swing the ball. They force you to defend against the ball screen, the direct line drives.
Jordan Powell is utilizing that opportunity here in his third year to carve out more time for himself. He was getting nearly 20 minutes a game last year in 51 appearances. Powell steers it into the lane on a good exchange along the baseline to lay it in. And Steve Kerr calls time. With the Blazers on top by 3. Well, for the first game of a preseason, this is a lot like a regular season deal here. And there's Nurkic making a nice pass to Powell for a bucket. We'll be right back. Play.
Anthony Gordon, the ball. Nurk is reading. He's back there and help. Gets the deflection. And now off to the races. Goes back to the big fella down low. Has the one-on-one matchup and gets the 2.
Nothing wrong with feeding the beast when he's giving it to you on that defensive end as well. You've got to give him a little dab.
Yeah, you have to.
As the kids say. All you youngsters out there. Jordan Poole having an impact in tonight's game from beyond the arc. Simons knows that, picks him up. Gets up, pressing beyond the three-point arc. Poole outside to Curry, touch and shoot for 3. He's got it.
See, that's one of those plays. That's not really bad defense. That's just an exceptional shooter. And that's where Coach Williams has talked to his team about this. Depending on the personnel, as Curry gets the breakaway and the nifty layup. But depending on the personnel, you change your help position a little bit. Nasir was on that weak side, dipping into the middle where he was supposed to be. But maybe it's, hey, man, I got Steph out here. I gotta creep out a little bit closer.
I'm staying home.
But for the most part, they're in the right spot. And that came after Nurk showing and helping. So these are the plays that the coaching staff will go back and look at and make sure as you look at that attention to detail, are you in the right spot? See, that's just different. That's different.
This guy will just exploit you.
With him and the letter O on the floor, they changed the game. Stuff that you practice, you throw it out the window. There's a new defensive game plan.
Simons with a nice little change of direction there as he was cut off and then spun back. Fades and fires and hits. Now Curry the other way. Crowding him is Nurk. Finds an opening. Looking to get it back. Does. Spins a pass into the hands of McLemore. Off to Anthony Simons. The step back from 3 in transition. Run down by Looney. Advance to Toscano Anderson. Poole spots a seam to the hole and laid it up and in.
Smart play from Poole. He's the trailer on that play. Full head of steam on the catch. Knows that he can accelerate by the bigger defender.
Curry getting involved defensively over there, trying to muck it up. Recovered by Anthony Simons. Nasir Little puts his body into Lee and a foul called on Little.
Steph Curry's in transition. Forces you to locate him. And when he gives the ball up, he becomes even more dangerous. As good as it gets in the league and moving without the basketball, lethal on the catch. Just puts continual pressure on the defense.
Curry up the screen, loops it outside to Toscano Anderson. McLemore the recovery. Rocco leaks out. That's too far out front. Curry in transition. Spots up. Covington comes down with a Curry, a rare miss here in the quarter. Simons nice behind the back handle, then try to leave it for Nurk. Kick save and out of bounds. Curry wants a breather. And he'll come off. And then will come Avery Bradley, who figures to get those minutes at point or can play a little bit of the 2, but mostly the point. Yeah. He can play interchangeably with Curry and Klay Thompson. And it gives you a defensive presence, obviously, as Lamar has talked about in the first half. And there is Klay. No timetable yet on his return, but they're happy with his progress, according to the Blazer Brass. On the inbounds, Rocco. Simons off the pick from the elbow.
Nice pull up. I like this matchup for Anthony, as he has Avery Bradley on him, who will hound him the entire time and really force him to be at his best at that PG position.
Nurk got popped with friendly fire there. Simons got an elbow into his ear.
Now Poole takes it.
Nurk for 3. Poole scanning as Bradley on his left, Looney on his right, and trailing is Toscano Anderson. Nurk steps up in the passing lane to deny that one out of bounds. Big year for Nurk, contract year. Nurkic, of course, has been hampered with injuries the last couple of years. The broken wrist last year when he went down on the 14th of January, reaching in to try to strip the ball from Malcolm Brogdon. And it appeared to be innocent enough, but a broken wrist, and he was out for some time. Didn't come back until March. Loco the rebound.
Yeah, that was a really weird play when that happened in there. You wouldn't have guessed that something broke on that swipe.
And then, of course, CJ was lost 2 nights later in Atlanta. Capella stepped on his foot. Inside, Nurk spins, and it's ripped away by Looney. And a foul. So the big man to the line. Now in his 8th year. Coming off nearly 12 points, 9 boards a game. And against these smaller lineups, man, he's going to put his considerable weight into people. He has slimmed down. He looks great. The NBA is back on Root Sports. Don't be denied your right to watch every Trailblazer basket. An unforgettable moment all season long on Root Sports. Call your provider today to see if they are carrying your Portland Trailblazers on Root Sports. Great to be on Root Sports. Covering the Mariners all year. The Mariners had a wonderful year. Augusta Kyle Seager, an iconic Seattle Mariner, into the lane. Poole. And he got hammered.
The Blazers will look as well to be aggressive off the ball. So when you're guarding off-ball action, there won't be a lot of sitting back on that either. So even off the ball, you have to make sure to help this set up wherever that weak side is, because it's just more of an aggressive approach. Doesn't mean get risky and get out of position. We're just more so taking the fight to the offense rather than letting them dictate the terms.
Yeah. But football, you talk to offensive linemen, they would much prefer to run block than pass block. Pass blocking, you're dropping back. Run blocking, you're firing out and hitting somebody. You're taking it.
I know that excites you. It's always like rumbling.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was a party at our house when they got Cody Zeller. It's like, oh, a screen setter. Good deflection by Little to keep it alive to Simons. Naz trying to go low to Nurk. Checked by Bielitsa. Faces up. 6 to shoot. Whirls right into the defense.
Quick help to Scott Anderson. That's what smart help defenders will do against those bigs. They'll let them sometimes take a dribble, turn their back, and then strike.
Yeah, Jordan Poole making his mark here. 28th pick in the draft back in 19. And he's a double-figure guy coming off that bench. Dance dribble handoff to Little, along with Simons and Nurkic on the floor. Triggering a 3 is Little, and taking it off the deck is Poole. 4:55 left in the third. Poole comes down. That's a deep 3, and he knocks it down. Well, he's hit about 3 out there at that range. 7 for the game, though. 7 of 13, and he has 30 points. Whew. Yeah, that's serious. That's usually reserved for Steph, Dame, and Harden out there.
Maybe we will see those guys on the road showing some love for CJ. This is pretty cool, and it was just neat to see because he talks so much about the Browns every year. He says, this is going to be our year. This is going to be our year. So happy to see CJ so pumped.
Brooke, was it you that was telling me that they actually have a Damian Lillard audible that they use at the line that Baker Mayfield will use? Or was I dreaming that up?
That's the Raiders.
Is it you that told me that?
That is with the Raiders. I also have that story we can do in a little bit. It's just right here. But yes, they called an audible Damian Lillard. You could hear it loud and clear. I asked him about it. He said he thought it was pretty cool. And they actually did it a couple of years ago, too. As you guys know, a diehard Raiders fan.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's a McCollum audible there. Here comes Otto Porter Jr. tripping lightly into the lane, and he is knocked to the deck.
Over the last minute, 2 good moves from Anthony Simons. He got the finish on one, didn't get the finish on the second. Some of that picking and choosing. To go out there and just play. Try not to overthink it, but Coach Phillips will walk him through sometimes what the pace needs to be, the looks, the reads, while always empowering him to be his best. Coach Phillips sees a lot in Anthony.
Norman Powell, we were told, was taken to the locker room. And walking back there into his own power, some hip discomfort. Otto Porter Jr. at the line. He finished the year last year with Orlando, split the year between Chicago and Orlando. He's been battling injuries himself over the last year and a half. McLemore working on Bielitsa. Triple drive offering is off. Cody Zeller back in the lineup for the Blazers, along with Nance, Little, and Simons.
Miscommunication.
Yep. They lost track of Bradley.
Well, and those are the plays when they watch in the film. First of all, Nasir and Anthony, they knew what went wrong right there as soon as it happened. But when they watch film, Coach Phillips is going to, as he says, put an address on it, yes. Call out whose mistake it was. It wasn't both guys. There was one person that's responsible to communicate that. Low guy can see everything. You communicate it, and they'll fix it.
McLemore helps Simons, who was on the baseline. And then he gets it back inside for the bucket. Put an address on it, indeed. Mulder, the Canadian from Kentucky, knocks down the free throw. Michael Mulder played in 60 games a year ago with the Warriors, originally undrafted coming out of Kentucky. Now in his third year, his first run of the night. Cody Zeller. Nasir Little. Bielitsa the block, Zeller the recovery, 6 to shoot for the Blazers. The pass intercepted, Otto Porter Jr. the other way. Of course, he started off his career in Washington with the Wizards and was a 3-and-D guy, much coveted around the league. Good pickup here for the Warriors if he can round into any kind of that shape. Demonstrate that play again. Here's Simons. He'll turn and fire the three. Anthony Simons looks live tonight. He said, hey, this is my opportunity. 4th year, now my opportunity. Well, like you say, empowerment is the word of these young players.
Looking out there with who Anthony's on the floor with, Nasir and he are the 2 main ball handlers to beat a guy one-on-one. I mean, Larry can put it on the floor, out of pick and roll, make the right play. But right here, Nasir and Anthony, they got to be the guys with the dribble penetration, beating their man, trying to find that teammate. Miscue here will give it back to Golden State.
C.J. Ellaby back on the floor for the first time here tonight. Let's take a look at the McDonald's McDelivery replay first, though.
And McLemore running into the play. Otto Porter rotates over, and the bounce pass leads to the bucket.
Ellaby out of Washington State, went to Cleveland High School in Seattle, played 30 games a year ago for the Blazers. And Dennis Smith Jr. on the floor as well, who has been intriguing, yes, shall we say. This past week in camp, Lamar, you and I have been, and Michael Holden and Brooke, we've been really treated to some extraordinary play this week, and Smith has been a highlight for him.
He's looked like the lottery pick, like the guy that was averaging 15 points for Dallas just a few seasons ago. He's had a great attitude. He's been a really good teammate throughout training camp. Communication's on point, and defensively, he gets after it. He will pick guys up 3-quarter court. Very quick, beats you to the spot.
All-rookie second team at Dallas. I mean, he's a 15-5-4 guy that year.
Yeah.
Outside ball deflected and grabbed here by Nasir Little. 10 to shoot, 1:19 left. Smith figures to be one of 4 guys battling for the 14th spot on this roster. And there's Zeller making a nice play on the pass from Smith and the foul.
Great pass from Dennis. Drove left, backed out a little bit, but it was to allow Cody to continue to carve out space in the paint. He's taking his time with the dribble, letting his big man do what he needs to do, and then delivers the ball to him.
Cody, the youngest of the brothers Zeller. Luke and Tyler both played in the NBA. Cody now in his 9th year from Washington, Indiana. Played for the Hatchets of Washington. Porter fakes and drives. Nice dump off inside. Iguodala and then comes down and cracks Cody Zeller.
Iguodala knew right away. You see when he made contact. He was grimacing for the pain. You see the blood on Cody's nose.
Cody says, I broke my nose.
Portland.
Cody held the bridge of his nose, and he looked at the bench and said, "I broke my nose." And he has had some injury difficulty over the last couple of years. And, you know, this goes hand in hand, not this particular injury, but just the looking back at the injuries to Nurk, Larry Nance to a degree, and Zeller. And you're talking about that 14th spot on the team. You have Marquise Chris in camp as well, 6'9".
Another intriguing prospect.
Or you got the veteran Patrick Patterson. You know, it's 6'8", not a 5 guy, but boy can shoot that three.
Yeah.
Knows how to play the game.
And was with Coach Billups last season.
Exactly. Except that role coming off the bench. And then you have Quinn Cook and then Dennis Smith Jr. all battling for the 14th spot on the roster.
It's nice to have good options.
So these are the additions to the roster this year, the guys that are under contract. And Greg Brown the third is just a young 19-year-old who jumps out of the gym and is fun to watch.
Yes.
But, you know, not yet ready to be a regular rotation guy. But this guy gets involved in practice, man. He gets after it.
Trendon as well. Trendon Watford.
A two-way.
Yeah. They both have had a good training camp.
Yes, they have.
Understanding that they're not expected to be rotational pieces right now, but they've been soaking it all up, performing well.
Dennis Smith Jr. swings it to the aforementioned Marquise Chris, and that one rolling off into the hands of Bielitsa. Curry is on the bench. Chris Choiza is on the floor playing the point into the corner. Otto Porter Jr. waits and nails the three. He's a career 40%er from three-point range, so you bring that off your bench. You just don't get a break. Smith Jr. the other way.
This is it. That's
just wildly athletic, beautiful drive right to the rim.
That's it. That's what we've been seeing all week. I mean, he's under control, makes the right plays, even though he's known as a scoring guard. He makes the right passes.
Doing well at Dallas that first year, and then Luka Doncic happened, and then off he went for Porzingis to New York, where things were in disarray. And so it's been for Dennis Smith Jr. We'll see more of him in the fourth. Warriors at the end of three, 100-85. Damian Lillard and the Blazers hoping to improve on the 42-30 mark and a first-round loss in the playoffs a year ago with a new coach, Chauncey Billups. Warriors up 15 on the Blazers here tonight as we head to the fourth quarter in Portland. It's time now for the Pacific Office Automation Statistics. Now you can see the Warriors with 53 attempts from three, 21 of 53. The Blazers 15 of 33. And the turnovers, Blazers 20. And the Warriors 8. Jordan Poole with 30 for the game, 15 in the third quarter. Smith Jr. tied up. The pass to Chris got away from him, but then deflected off of Warrior hands and out of bounds.
4.3 seconds.
Moses Moody in the lineup for the Warriors, 6'6" out of Arkansas, 14th pick in this year's draft. He's been called a 3-and-3 guy. Here's Little, the fall-away jumper, nailed it, keeling away on the baseline over Moody, who's played for Eric Musselman down at Arkansas. Mulder triggers a three, and he hits.
That ball was not in his hands for a lot of time. A lot of quick triggers over there.
Smith Jr., the lob up top. Broken up by Toscano Anderson and recovered by the Warriors. Jonathan Kuminga, who is a wildly athletic player. You can see he is just sculpted. But the term that is used in the Warrior camp is he's still raw and learning how to play.
17 points per game in the summer league for Golden State. Really active.
Played for the G League Ignite right there in the Bay Area, Walnut Creek. So they got a good look at him. He's been in the Bay Area for some time. 7th pick in the draft from the Congo. And played his high school ball in Hillside, New Jersey. pivot. He's into a fade. There's Kuminga way up top to deflect it free to Chioza. Good hands. Making the move. Smith deflects it away, and then it's taken away from behind by Mulder.
That's what you want to do if you're Mulder. Try to get that back tip. He's been playing both sides of the ball.
As Little steps back for three.
This is a true showcase for all the Blazers out here, because they have all spoken about. It's a new coach, new system, new opportunity for me to present myself, put my best foot forward, impress the coaching staff, try to carve out some minutes.
Well, the Blazers got caught that time ball watching, and over the top it comes. And Chioza with the lay-in. But Smith went on to play for the Knicks. It was a really disjointed situation. David Fizdale on his way out of town. The Knicks losing a lot of ball games, and Smith getting introduced and getting booed on his own floor at Madison Square does not help a young player's confidence at all. And then traded on to Detroit, where he finished up the rookie contract, signed by the Blazers as a free agent. Foul on Moses Moody, and to the line comes Nasir Little. Sitting alongside Chauncey Billups over there is Scott Brooks, who's been in the NBA a long time as a player. He's won a championship in Houston, one of your favorite teams growing up.
Yes, sir.
Houston Rockets in the mid-90s. And of course, he's coached some just big-time talent.
Yes,
He's played with Clyde, he's played with the Dream, played with Vernon Maxwell, and he has coached KD, Harden, and Westbrook, and he was at Oklahoma City as the coach, and one-time Coach of the Year in 2010, and then John Wall and Bradley Beal. And then Westbrook again when he was in Washington. So good to see Scott Brooks on the bench. Onside. Kuminga not bashful with that three, and decent shooting form. The young player rims that one off.
He'll have that green light.
Yes, he will.
That's what they do. That's the DNA of their team.
Around
I
the
thought
third.
he might get a step. If he gets a step on somebody, somebody's getting punched on.
Langston Galloway out of the corner, and the deflection by Chris comes off to Kuminga, who shows those hops.
Trying to post Marquise against a smaller defender, but it's delayed, so now it's going to be an offensive foul. Called against Marquise, saying as he was trying to get that post position and use the arm to discard the defender.
Chris has been, we've been watching him play, it seems like forever. And, you know, doing the biography, he's just 24 years old.
I know.
I
I was talking to him last week, and he said he was looking at a picture from UW when he was there for that season, and he's like, I can't believe that was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And I told him, so we started here, Kev, the same year he started in the league in Phoenix. And I said, yeah, same thing. I mean, time flies because we remember doing his games there. And he was such a standout. That whole group. Dejounte Murray, Thibault. And then the job Andrew Andrews did with them as a leader. Andrew Andrews was averaging 20 points per game. That's straight out of Benton High School here in Portland.
Problem with Chris Washington was he just could not stay out of foul trouble. He was so aggressive. I mean, an extraordinary shot block. Brown breaks that one up. Good play to pinch in on the weak side there and get a deflection out of bounds. Yeah, Brown in this week of practice just involved on both ends of the floor. Always in the mix in their battling.
Yeah.
Not bashful at all to mix it up.
Ball goes up on a rim, he's jumping at it.
Little inside out number for Kuminga for three. Smith Jr., Patrick Patterson, who we mentioned a moment ago, one of the 4 guys battling for that 14th spot on this roster. Cody Zeller earlier was struck by Iguodala in the nose, an inadvertent elbow after he jammed it, and Cody was beneath the rim and got clipped right in the bridge of the nose. The nose was bleeding from the bridge of the nose, and Cody turned to the bench and said, "I broke it." So that's all we know about Zeller. And then earlier than that, in the opening moments of the third, Norman Powell had some hip issues. You don't think it's major. Back to the locker room. Here's Elevate on a deflection, grabs it the other way. Looking to pack it, but it is broken up and is fouled by Toscano Anderson, who will give no free pass.
CJ meant business. Off to the races. Toscano Anderson, you saw him tell Chioza, "Chill out, I'm gonna go get this." You see him? He did. As they were running, he used his arm and said, "Chill out." Tried to go up there and get it, CJ Ellaby. Now, for some people, I'd say he'll make him think twice about it next time, but Toscano Anderson, he kind of crazy. He'll go up there again.
Warriors up 108-89, 7:15 left in the fourth quarter, preseason game 1 on Oregon, USA. Fans for every Trailblazer assist that the team hands out this season. Moda Health and the Blazers donate $20 to build a new all-abilities playground in a deserving Oregon community.
He's got 6 of them. Here's one. Anthony Simons going down to Cody Zeller to ring up the assist.
Yeah, with no turnovers in 19 and a half minutes.
Yeah, taking care of it.
For the young Anthony Simons. On a night when the Blazers have turned it over 24 times. So obviously they need to work on ratcheting that down.
Well, when the normal lineup returns and things get sorted out, you would fully expect that number to decrease because the Blazers led the league last season in fewest turnovers per game. So they know how to take care of it. However, they want to play a little differently offensively. Maybe some more passes, earlier passes. That can make you prone to more turnovers. But Coach Billups has a team good enough, led by guards who are good enough, to make sure the ball goes to the right places. Nurk in the middle, playing out of him. He knows how to facilitate.
Dennis Smith Jr. into the lane, double clutches and lays it in. Smith, a marvelous levitator, good handle on the basketball, and just knows how to play the game and defensively holds his own.
Well, this is what you can do when you have a 48-inch vertical.
Yeah.
You can just jump, chill out for a little bit, figure things out, and then decide what shot you want to shoot. Remember that? We were in Dallas, his rookie season. He got a breakaway late.
He was amazing.
Bounced that ball in transition, went up and got it. He remembers that too. I was talking to him about that last week, and he remembered it right away.
He lit up the Blazers. Yeah, that was a phenomenal effort. He just needs a home somewhere and get himself going. There's been a lot of transition, of course, in his professional career in a very short period of time, now in his 5th year. Jonathan Kuminga, along with Porter Jr. up top, and a reach in and a foul called on the Blazers.
Blazers foul, 21, Kelvin Blevins first.
Keldon Blevins picks up the foul with the Blazers a year ago. Played 17 games and a cousin of Damian Lillard. This is Moody to Mulder. Porter Jr.
That's a nice job. Rick Brown showed initially. Go up top to him.
Oh, there he is. The third.
Kev, that was after on the defensive end. He showed on the ball handler, got back to the shooter, contested the shot, tick off down the sideline, and Dennis Smith Jr. goes up top to him.
Galloway at 3, and then Brown. Good controlled tip to Chris. And the Blazers in business. Smith, the Euro, bottled up. Good defensive play indeed. Thanks to Galloway, rips it away.
Marquise Chris with the outlet, get it to the middle. Now you got your wing. When he's a high flyer like this, just put it up there, let him go get it. Ooh. Extended after the catch.
On the wing, Kuminga. Spinning jump pass.
Good help. And there goes C.J. Ellaby running across the court to challenge a shot.
Smith backing down on Mulder. The fall-away jumper's good.
Okay. Said he's too little. Mouse in the house. That's the phrase Dennis is making.
Warriors move it. They make the extra pass. And Porter Jr.'s there to knock down a three. Oh, Porter Jr. playing with this unit has kind of found his rhythm now. And that's not good news for the rest of the Western Conference.
No.
Bringing him off the bench.
No.
Here's Blevins.
With Klay coming back.
Yep. Adding Bielitsa to the mix. Here's Ellaby in there going lefty all the way and is hammered and fouled.
CJ, he's been hot on his shots. The dunk attempt against Toscano Anderson, and now this drive on the baseline. He is elevated.
It's interesting watching Chauncey Billups work during the course of this game. He's been on the bench for the most part. Now he's up and he's a little more active. Along the sidelines. We're so used to coaches that, of course, roam around here like caged beasts in front of us, going from one side of the coaching box to the other, contemplating their fate from minute to minute. Chauncey has been, for the most part, he's been over there, saddle on the bench. He got up a moment ago, and now he'll get some instruction and head back to the bench. He was talking about engaging the officials the other day at practice and how, when he was a younger player, that was a problem that he had. He was a little too engaging with the officials. With Mulder outside, meaning he was combative with the officials.
But spent time under Ty Lue last season, who he said he feels is the best in the league in terms of his communication with officials. Chauncey said he feels like Coach Lue as C.J. Ellaby knocks down the three after some athletic drives. He said that Ty Lue has one tech in his career and it possibly got rescinded, so it's not even like he was trying to get worked up enough to get a tech. And he wants to carry a similar demeanor if possible.
And the key to engaging the officials, Lamar, use their first name.
Yeah, that will help you. Look at this flying around.
Otto Porter Jr. for three, around and out, and recovered inside. Greg Brown there stuffed it from Toscano Anderson, and then Smith got caught hacking away at the ball.
Yep, a lot of flying around. It's good. It looks good, especially on the perimeter, but it's tough to locate that body for a box out. Usually you are out of position for that. And Golden State, they've been spread out really well on offense all night long. That was an example of it, and it paid off for them.
Well, if you're just with us, the numbers on the Blazers. Nurkic a 15 and 10 night in 23 minutes with 4 assists. CJ a dozen with a couple of threes. Lillard 19 points for the night. Simons with 10 points, 6 assists, no turnovers in 19 minutes of work. And Nasir Little came up with a quick 7 or 8 boards in a very short period of time. Blevins, in the exchange to Smith, has it slapped away, stolen by Porter, and then Porter's flat. Well, the fans have turned out here at Moody tonight, anxious to see basketball live, get back into the gym. And we're all, of course, pleased as punch to be here. Take a look as we work our way through the preseason to the opener on the 20th against the Sacramento Kings. And we'll, of course, have the broadcast next week of the 3 other preseason games.
Coach Billups has said throughout this preseason, he hasn't fully determined, who he'll be playing, how much, how many minutes. But typically, as you get closer to that regular season, you fine-tune some things. You start rolling guys out who are starters, and you play them closer to those starters' minutes. You saw them. Damian Lillard, he's ready to go right now.
Played 18 minutes. CJ's ready to go. He's just played the 12 minutes so far. And these are two guys that they are very cognizant of weaning them off the minutes. Lillard played just under 36 minutes a night last year. CJ 34. If you can pare that down by 3 minutes, get meaningful play from Simons to come in at that point guard position. Boy, he knows it's on him this year to take that opportunity and run with it. And he looked good tonight. Looked sharp. We know he can shoot it.
Yes, he can.
We know he can defend, and he's got those incredible hops. Can he make plays for other players? He's got a good handle. Here's Galloway the other way. Good battle inside. The Blazers, as a result, take possession. Dennis Smith Jr., who finished the year last year with the Detroit Pistons. 15 to shoot. Chris getting some run tonight. Zeller was popped in the nose. The bridge of the nose. And had to go back to the locker room with it bleeding. Here's Galloway for three. Porter Jr. just looks better and better every minute he's on the floor. He was battling inside that wide to get a controlled deflection. Now makes a pass cross court. And cashing in for three. That was Toscano with the pass cross court.
They play the same way, no matter who's in the game.
Chris, the spin. Warriors on the recovery. Again, push it back, trying to get something in the opening 6 seconds of that clock. That's blocked. Porter looks at the Blazer bench and says, I was fouled. Lillard saying, I don't think so. Warriors up 15. Here comes Dennis Smith Jr. Greg Brown the third. Elevating. You got your Warriors, you got your Blazers, but they all seem to be good with it. The Warriors out on top of the Blazers. The Portland Trail Blazers making their regular season debut on Root Sports on October the 20th. Don't miss a moment or memory. Call your provider to make sure they will carry Portland Trail Blazer games on Root Sports all season long. Also the home of the Seattle Kraken. Great to see them get it going. Lamar, heard that's one experience I'm guessing you've never had. Have you ever been on ice skates?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah, why do you think I didn't have that?
Well, because you never skied before. You never done the downhill skiing.
Skiing is different than ice skating.
Well, I know. But
ice skating, you don't generally break something.
It's still
skiing,
something.
You can go up, come back out.
So where have you ice skated? I don't believe this. Where, dude?
Several places. Well, you can ice skate. Is the Lloyd Center, they still got ice skating available?
You skate down in Houston?
I did Lloyd Center years ago, but before that, yeah, did it in Houston Galleria.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, right off 610. Oh, yeah, you going there.
But they're not firing pucks at you at 95 miles an hour, I'm guessing.
No, I never said I was messing
at the Galleria. You haven't lived till you've had a puck hit you in the shin. That's when you know you're alive. Oh, man.
No, there's other ways to know. There's a lot safer ways to just make sure you're still ticking.
But we're happy to be on Root Sports because I'm told, I don't dwell on these things. I'm told that it doubles our viewership.
Yes,
more folks
getting
the Blazers signal, up there.
People in Alaska.
Into Alaska.
You can go ice skating up there.
You only have 4 hours of daylight. You make the most of it. That would drive me nuts too.
What the daylight got to do with watching the game?
You're going to need diversions. You're going to need sports. That's all I'm saying. Smith Jr. to the line. He's getting some run here in the fourth quarter of play, looking to find a home either here or somewhere in the league. 119-103 count, 2:19 left here in the fourth. Blazers with Brown and Chris. Blevins, Smith, and Ellaby on the floor. Chioza from Florida, now in his 4th year. We'll give it to Kuminga. Kuminga, nice little up and under. Good footwork on the pivot.
I like how Greg met him. He shortened the closeout. He was going to run out there, then he shortened it, let Kuminga come to him. Kuminga took his time and showed the skill.
Fallon Kuminga is his 3rd. Kuminga has been, his parents are still in the Congo, we were told by the Warrior PR great Raymond Ritter. And he's not seen his parents for a few years. Devoting himself to playing the game of basketball, coming from the Congo, where Dikembe Mutombo, of course, came on the scene back in the early 90s. Bismarck Biombo is another one that's carrying the torch for Congo. Smith calmly drills a couple with the Warriors on top here by 16. A minute 52 left in the 4th. Chris on that weak side snugs in and deflects that ball away from the point, but can't handle it. And the Blazers will take possession. Mars Keys coming off to step in for Cody Zeller. The battle for that 14th spot. Heating up. Here's Galloway to the inline. Lefty lay, no. Minute and a half left. Blevins for 3. Sails over the rim. And Chris with the find, and he'll go back in there with some heavy metal.
That's the hops from Marquise Chris. He's always had that.
Blevins turns the ball to Kuminga. Smith finds Brown for 3. Cross-court pass, Ellaby knocks it down. Pass gets away from Blevins, and it's recovered by Kuminga. Cross-court to Moody, who stepped on the sideline. The 2 first-round picks, Kuminga and Moody, on the floor for the Warriors.
He's Chris catching that ball and just going straight up to the rim. Albert James. Good backcourt play in this one for the Blazers opponent. You'll see the same thing in the next one. Sacramento. Davion Mitchell, their prized possession in the draft this year.
He'll D you
NBA
up.
ready.
Better
right
be ready,
now.
because he's going to D you up.
Aaron Fox, of course.
As quick as there is, line to end line. Well, that'll do it with the Warriors winning this one tonight, 121 to 107. The Warriors led by the 30 of Jordan Poole, who scored 15 in the 3rd. Here's Mike Brown, one of the assistants of the Warriors, coming over here to meet Chauncey Billups. Steve Kerr with Damian Lillard. 2 of them with gold medals at home from the Olympics this summer. And today's Fred Meyer Player of the Game. We're going to keep you in suspense.
Ladies and gentlemen,
What happened?
you thought you were tuning in just to watch the first preseason game of the year. Little did you know you would witness